legal mistakes that travel advisors are making in their business?
Oh gosh, we talk to so many travel advisors and we see all kinds of different scenarios, but I would say there are three real key things that are common mistakes. The first is we hear, how can I take the time to set up legal agreements when I'm so overwhelmed? And I'm here to tell you that really time is rarely on your side, which is why TIS has made it so simple and easy to protect your business in 15 minutes or less. As you get busier, time is not going to become your friend. So I always encourage travel advisors to start thinking about this early on, and particularly now because we are in wave season. Even those newbies are starting to see so much traction, particularly as revenge travel is still very much a thing. As a matter of fact, I have been so horrible about booking the rest of my components for my summer trip to Europe with my daughter, and everything is already booked.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
time is not on my side right now.
Yeah, it is not. It's
So
a good space to be in right now as an advisor if you've got your stuff together.
it really is. And I would say the second thing is money. Travel advisors, particularly those that are newer, say, how can I afford legal agreements when my cash flow isn't regular yet? As you all know, it takes quite a while to build up that regular cash flow since we're not paid. We're not technically paid until the customer travels. And in many instances, even charging planning fees is not enough to sustain our lifestyle. But I want to say this, it's so important that booking travel is risky. And I say to everybody, there is no other industry on the planet where people are expected to know so much about so many things worldwide. And it's so risky if you don't have the proper client agreements and waivers in place, because one mistake, that's it, one mistake can cost you dearly, including your future cash flow. So when you say, I can't afford legal agreements, you can't afford not to have legal agreements. Whether you use TIS or somebody else in the industry, do not risk everything when you can protect your business with attorney prepared, industry specific agreements for just pennies a day.
That is a really good, I really think a good thing to call out because I think so many agents do think to themselves, it's so cost prohibitive to hire an attorney, get these agreements. And so this is why I'm so excited to be working with you to be able to help them, like you said, for pennies, pennies a month.
Well, and one of the things that we always talk about with TIS is that you have fee certainty. So
Mm,
all of our fees are on our website. So you know that for $400 a year or $500 a year, you are going to get X number of agreements. And I can tell you, for instance, in our Gold Solutions, there's about $30,000 worth of product there.
yeah.
And they're all crafted. We source our agreements to the appropriate type of attorney, which is another key point is if you go to, let's say, a quote unquote travel attorney or a corporate attorney where you live, they don't have experience in multiple disciplines. So when we develop 1099 contractor agreements, for instance, for your virtual assistant or your marketing professional that you've hired, we have somebody who has experience in employment law. When you need website policies, we have somebody who is well versed in the regulations around the world. Our terms and conditions are crafted by somebody who understands seller of travel laws. So once you start thinking about all of the agreements that you have and that you need to have in your business, we are a single stop. You don't have to contract with 5 or 6 or 7 different attorneys, and you can rest assured that we have experts. So you have fee certainty, you have a single source, and fee certainty is huge because while you might be lured in for that $350 terms and conditions, when you walk out of there, it's $1,500.
That's right.
And they're also not going to tell you how to use it in your business. That's a biggie.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So, speaking of agreements, what are the four legal agreements every travel advisor needs to have in their travel business?
Well, I want to say before we move on to that, I want to talk about one other thing that's really important, and that is size. People always say, is my agency really big enough to need legal agreements yet? And here's the thing, guys, even if you only have one client, you're opening yourself up to liability when you aren't protected. You know, you can't go back and retroactively protect yourself when you're named in a lawsuit. The law doesn't care that you only have one or two clients.
That is
And
true.
so, leading into that, the four agreements that every single travel advisor should have: a travel services agreement. And that is really a unique product that we have to TIS. It actually works in conjunction with your travel terms and conditions, your client terms and conditions. We have a very unique approach to legal agreements in that we want it to be practical. We want to minimize the friction with your customers. Everything is done in plain English. We feel like it's really important for travel advisors to understand what they're sending their clients and for their clients to understand what they're receiving. And we also warranty our products. So you need the travel services agreement, which takes that fear out of it. It links to your terms and conditions, which is your lengthier document, and it has the key clauses. You know, what is your responsibility? What is your client's responsibility? What is the supplier's responsibility? And what are the limitations of liability? Also, all of the key clauses that fall under that duty of care, because a lot of travel advisors don't understand that there's a whole laundry list of things that you need to do as it pertains to duty of care. Actually, we have a blog post that's coming out about duty of care within the next few weeks. Our legal team is reviewing that currently, but that's another key piece. The third agreement is, oh, you know what? Let me go back to the terms and conditions because there's another component: change and cancellation fees.
Yes, yes.
Okay. You cannot go back later to that pain in the butt client who literally run you through the ringer, drug you through the mud, stomped on your hair and put it all in knots on that trip and say, you know what? I'm going to charge you a change or a cancellation fee. Here's the thing that I tell all of our users. Even if you're not accustomed to charging change and cancellation fees, you want to have that protective clause in your terms in the event that you do want to charge them. You can always waive it, but you cannot go back retroactively. And this protects your profits, your time. It keeps those clients from coming back, let's say, and refaring that cruise. You know, in my agency, I offer one refare. I'm very clear. And
Yeah.
anything after that then has a reduction in bonus amenities that I've thrown in, change fees,
Hmm.
whatever it is, $25 per
Yes.
person, per component, per household, do it. The third thing, a planning fee agreement. If you are not charging planning fees, I know this is controversial. Maybe your business model is you just want to bring in as many customers. You're not going to charge fees. You are always going to deal in volume with the budget customer. That is fine. I get it. But in the long term, there are other ways that you can skin that cat and guarantee that you have income and protection inside of your business. Even plan to go fees. I do it on cruises. So I will give you X number of options at this fee. And then when you book with me, I will give you X number of shipboard credits or whatever. And it's not when you book, it's when you travel. So they have to travel in order to earn them. But there are different ways that you can protect your agency, and it should link out to your full terms and conditions. So when you have a planning fee agreement, they should be linking out to your full terms and conditions. You invoice with the agreement, link out to your full terms and conditions. The fourth one, And I apologize. I've been sick for several weeks. I'm just getting over it, but I still have the cough. The fourth one, a travel insurance waiver. And I'm not talking the yes, I want it, no, I don't. I learned a lot throughout my journey as a travel agency owner when I sold a lot of Caribbean, because that's the one place you want customers to have travel insurance. The travel insurance companies will tell you that because of the facilities there. But also, as I started booking older clients with pre-existing conditions and higher dollar trips, world cruises, private jets, things of that nature, the complexity of quoting and recommending travel insurance became very daunting for me. So, as we were developing our travel insurance waiver, it was really important for me to communicate with our legal team um, what it is that we're experiencing as travel advisors.
Mhm.
So, delineating what an insurance agent's role is, what your role is as the travel advisor, and what the responsibility is of the traveler. So, clearly stating roles and responsibilities, I think, is essential, in addition to having that acceptance or that declination. So, when people buy our agreements, they see the noticeable differences, the plain English, the practicality, and understanding how we operate and what are our internal pain points. So those are four, but I'm going to give you some bonus ones. Here's a huge infraction that I see: website policies.
Mm.
I will tell you that 85 to 90% of the travel advisors who come to us and that I've worked with and met with at various events, they don't have policies.
Yeah.
And if you are collecting information on your website, through your website, on visitors, asking for their name, asking for their email, you are required by law to have a privacy policy. Your visitors have a right to know how you are using their information. And in some states, the fines can be as much as $2,500. They're huge.
Yeah.
Also, terms of use. Here's the thing: if somebody comes after you and they are bringing suit against you, you want the jurisdiction to be set where your business is located,
Hmm.
not where they're located. And so the terms of use is sort of like the rules of the road of
Yeah.
your website. And it also allows you to set your jurisdiction. But there's a third component to website policies, and it doesn't apply to every travel advisor, but it is applying more and more because we are seeing travel advisors get into the affiliate space. So, recommending luggage, for instance, to their
Mm.
clients.
Yep.
They have affiliate links on there. You're required to have advertising and affiliate disclosures.
Mm.
And
That's a good one.
you are. And
That's a good one to know. Like, I mean, that's a good one to know. Yeah.
and let me tell you, there are a couple of suits right now in place. This is a requirement from the FTC.
Hmm.
And there are a couple of lawsuits right now in federal court over this. So don't think that because you're just this little old solo independent travel agent who's hosted, or you have, your small little mom and pop brick and mortar in Poughkeepsie, Kentucky, that you're protected. You're not.
And it doesn't make you exempt
It
either.
doesn't make you exempt. Not at all. So
Yes.
so those are my four plus my bonus.
Yeah, those are good. I obviously don't have the background that you do, but having worked with so many travel agents, I will tell you that the whole term, just the last two bonus items that you mentioned, people just they don't know what that is, and the laws are changing. The privacy laws and the data. I mean, we used to provide a template, and I want to say maybe about 2 years ago we stopped because the law is changing so often. I couldn't keep up with, GSAM and all these things that you needed to know, and so
Oh
it's
yeah.
good. Yeah, it's
We
good
just
to
updated our website policies, and it extends to like Can Spam Act and,
yes,
GDPR. You have the EU, Canada, California, different
yes,
states have different policies. You have to dig into those states. It's really crazy what is happening, and we do have to stay on top of those website regulations and changes continuously. So we do that for you. That way, you don't have to worry about it. In our new platform that will launch in a few months, we will basically eliminate any need on your part to touch any of our legal agreements ever again, because we'll provide you with some code that you're going to place on your website. So anytime we make updates to, for instance, website policies, or if you
yeah,
have your client terms and conditions placed on your website, it's going to dynamically update based on your user profile, the documents as they're built for you, and it'll make it a completely frictionless, painless solution for you. Like, you can count on us to do that for you. You don't have to think about it again. And
that's a really important call out, I think, for agents to realize is the no touch, no worry, I'm covered type of model when it comes to the type of agreements that you're talking about, particularly in the website space that are changing. And I envision with AI technology, they're going to change again. So I remember when GDP, is it GDPR? I always get that confused.
GDPR. Okay.
Yeah, when GDPR came out, and then you've got the spam, what is it, C-spam or
Can
all of that.
spam.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm hands off. I'm like, I'm no longer doing any sort of templates. I'm not doing any of that, because it's just the ramifications, the impact to your organization if you do get, hit with something is huge. So the fact that you take that off of agents' mind if they, use your solution is a really, it's a difficult world to be in as a small business.
It is, and that'll
Owner.
be an enhancement of our new
Yeah,
platform, which we'll release in a few months. So we will release iterations. So the first iteration, well, currently we have the product available to you. They're downloads. If you're using Travify, you have the one-click Travify integration with their forms. But they're very simple and straightforward. You download. We have highlighted the sections. You fill in your agency name, where you're going to put your terms, what your cancellation policies are. If you're hosted or non-hosted, we have the key paragraphs for you for the
yeah,
seller of travel states. But once the new platform releases, the documents will be built inside of our document builder based on, like, if this, then that question. So are you
yeah,
hosted? No. Then it's going to ask you another question. Then
yeah,
you'll get into the platform, and all of your documents that are the, what I call the static documents, your terms, your website policies, they'll already be pre-built. You'll be able to execute them inside of our platform if you want, for e-sign, credit card collection, invoicing, and then have the updates for the code snippet for the website.
I'm
But
gonna have to have you back when you get ready to release that, so we can go over all the new and amazing features that you're coming out with. But as we go on, what are some common legal issues that travel advisors may face when they're signing agreements with their suppliers?
so one of the questions that we get a lot from our users is, will you produce a contract between us and our clients that makes the client assume liability for the contract that we sign with the supplier?
Mm,
And this comes up with our customers who are booking groups, because
yep,
we have a group leader agreement. It's an agreement
yes,
between you and your Pied Piper and how they're going to be compensated. But here's
yep,
the thing: you cannot defer liability.
yep,
So if you sign the agreement with the supplier, you are on the hook,
yes,
not your group leader. And
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I have to say this to travel agents. When you sign the agreement, it's between you and the supplier. So you better make darn sure that you are prepared to assume any liability there. And
Hmm.
now, for the most part, there are cancellation policies if your group doesn't meet the threshold. However, there are some out there that aren't going to refund a portion of your money. So you've really got to be clear in your thinking. We continue to explore the options. We will continue to look at this from all angles. But right now, we cannot come up with a legally viable solution for those agents who collect gross and pay gross. For the agencies who collect gross and pay net, they're assuming that responsibility and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't want to be,
Yeah.
but they are assuming it. So I would say that's a big mistake that I see travel advisors make, particularly those that are new to the industry. And signing those agreements without authorization from your host agency, because
Mm.
you're using their credentials. And so, for you agency owners with ICs, we address that in your independent travel agent agreement.
Mm. That's
So,
an important call out, I think. I think we should say that again. Sheila, is like if you're with a host agency, you really and you are signing a group contract without their knowledge,
yes, you need
that
to make sure that they allow for that to happen. Some do,
yes.
some don't, but you just prepare yourself so that they are aware of it and there is no legal ramification. I'm not a lawyer. What I am is here
Yep.
to bridge the gap between what is practical as an agency owner and then take this to our legal team and bring you flows and solutions that are workable for your agency.
Absolutely. And so I really appreciate you calling that out because I actually get that question oftentimes too when I'm working with travel agents and they're talking about you can't, like you said, you cannot pass on the liability to someone else if you're the one who's signing it. So I think it's a really good call out on that. So with what we were talking about in terms of website policies and kind of the changes that you've seen, can you discuss some of the recent legal developments or changes in the industry that travel advisors should be aware of?
Listen, I know you are huge in following technology and particularly in the AI space. AI has been around for a really, really, really long time. It's just that it has gained massive momentum within the last year, and particularly now with Chat GPT coming to the market, and there's a competitor coming to the market.
I just
But
read that.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
Google is hot and heavy. They're mad at Microsoft. So yeah, I'm
they
pretty
sure
excited.
are. But here's the thing, there are these bots now and companies built around scanning people's sites
Mm,
for infractions. And they're sending out these really, really scary letters. And if there's, a registration with the Trademark and Copyright Office, you can be fined up to $150,000 per infraction for statutory damages.
yeah,
So, not complying and having AI really sort of scan and have the ability to go out globally into the World Wide Web has opened up opportunity for looking for those infractions. And so I would say that has been one of the biggest changes in the legal landscape today. And the fact that the gig economy is the fastest growing economy in the world right now. So these gig workers, and we are gig workers in essence, okay, because we're independent contractors, um, leaves us open to all sorts of issues. And you just think, well, I'm just this small, like little person here. I'm just, trying to do good in the world
Just trying to
and
make dreams happen. I'm just trying
trying to
to
make things
bring
happen. I'm
people
trying to put my
around town.
daughter through, cheerleading camp, or my son through Pop Warner football or band or whatever. And the law doesn't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
In industries are built around finding people who are having these violations.
Yeah. So I remember when many moons ago when I was taking driver's ed, and one of the instructors in my driver's ed school, and this has stuck with me some 30 years later, was just because you don't know the law doesn't mean that you can. Just because you don't know the law doesn't mean that you're not responsible for adhering to it. So your lack of knowledge, or you think because you're small and you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, doesn't mean that you can't still be liable for it. So
That's
we
right.
definitely want to continue to protect ourselves, our agencies that we're building, even if we're one people shows. You're doing business and you are an organization, and as
Mhm.
such, you should be protected accordingly, regardless. So,
That's right.
thanks for sharing that. And I think you've alluded a little bit to this already, but let's talk about, what would you recommend as the best way for travel advisors to get themselves protected? Talk to us about your solutions and what they look like.
So we do have 4 levels. We're going to take that down to 3 because we have some add-on features we're going to do later when we launch this new platform. So I'll just talk about the 3: silver, gold, and platinum.
Okay.
So one of the questions that I get a lot is, I have an agency and I have one IC and I want the silver. Can I just use the silver for both of us? The answer is no. So we are bringing these solutions to you at a ridiculous cost. We pay a ridiculous sum of money to warranty this product, to keep them up to date with changing laws, and to advise you on what to do with those changes once they're made inside of your agency. So, first, every user must be tied to a license, and we're also a subscription because of the fact that we provide all of these additional services to you at a ridiculously low rate. So you can get our silver plan. It gives you those 4 essential agreements: your TSA, your travel services agreement, your terms and conditions, your planning fee agreement. And we give you examples in case you don't know where to start. You can copy ours: plan to go fee, tiered fee, a la carte fee, plus the travel insurance waiver. The
Awesome.
other option is gold. You are getting basically every legal agreement that we have in our library, as well as 75 plus scripts, checklists, tools, customer facing Canva templates. Every month we release premium member content. So one month we might talk about finances or client onboarding. I know we're going to have you on this year to lead one of our premium member content months, but it's a
Wonderful.
massive value. It's $400. And of course, your folks get a discount. You have $30,000 worth of value in that pack. And you get those website policies, the group leader agreement. When you move into the platinum product, that is really for what I call agency owners. We're all agency owners, but that's for owners who have ICs. You get 5 user licenses, and you also get the independent travel agent agreement and the internal email policy document. So if you are a solo agent, our number one selling product is gold. It's $30,000 worth of product for $400. And you get all of the benefits of the solutions. And I would say that it accounts for 50% of what people purchase. And then we get into platinum, which is the next, and then silver, just because the value is so great. But they can go to our website, travelindustrysolutions.com, and then go to the memberships tab. It outlines what's included in every single solution. Scroll down a little bit, Sunday. Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. So you can pay annually. You can also choose to make monthly payments, but it is a 12-month commitment. So don't think that if you pay for gold and you pay 40 bucks, then the next, and you download all of our stuff and the next month you cancel. So that's not how it works. This is, we're delivering this to you in good faith, so that you can have all of these protections up front and spread the cost out over time.
Yep. And if you're watching this, you can, when you go to the site and you click on, let's say you decide to get the gold, you subscribe, what you can do is, because Sheila and I have partnered together, you'll be able to get your setup fee waived. And so how you simply do that is you'll go and you'll add it to the cart. You'll select which option you want, monthly or annual. You'll add it to your cart. And then I've included below this video the coupon code that you can use that will get your membership waived. So you'll just put that in the code. I think I've selected
Yep, you get the sign up fee waived. And then, of course, we actually, I hope it's okay for me to say this, but we just contracted with your marketing arm.
That is correct. Yes, so, it is okay.
Okay, so we've contracted with your marketing arm and your team on that side to handle a lot of the implementations for us. So we'll be adding the option to the website underneath here and in multiple places, along with the email communication. You know, we spent a lot of time looking at various providers in the industry who do set up an implementation. And I'm going to toot your horn Sunday.
Thanks.
Because I really think you're one of the smartest business women I have met in a very long time, not only in this industry, but outside of this industry. And I've learned a lot from you too. And I have really enjoyed working with you. And I know our customers, I've been sending your link direct, have really enjoyed working with you as well. The way that you think through things has been just phenomenal. So, yeah.
And so to summarize what Sheila is referring to, thank you first and foremost, thank you for that. Our marketing company, Be Free Marketing, we are partnering with Sheila to implement this solution inside of your CRM tool, website, all of your agreements, so that if you don't want to do it yourself after you subscribe to her silver, gold, or platinum, our company will take care of the implementation. It's a very simple process. You once she has this on the site, you'll just click on the implementation, or you can contact me directly, and we will take care of implementing once you've acquired the product. So those codes for if you want to sign up for silver or gold or platinum, actually it's silver and gold, to get your setup fee, the codes are below. As I just showed before, you'll just enter that coupon code in and you will get your setup fee waived. And Sheila, I just want to say thank you again for coming to us in our community and telling us what we need to know as it relates to getting agreements and getting ourselves protected, and also getting our clients protected in a way that's affordable, not only to us, but then is pretty much priceless when it comes to the type of protection that we get with it. I love, we didn't really talk about this. So before I sign off, you mentioned this a little bit, but I want to call this out because I think this is really important, is the warranty that you give along with your agreements. Can you talk a little bit about that? I was about to sign off, but I was like, because that's such an amazing thing. When you told me about that, I want people to really understand what that means.
So what that means, so we went through an extensive process with Chubb to insure our products. So what that means is in essence, we are saying our agreements are legally enforceable. We stand behind our agreements. If you have a loss as a result of one of our forms, we actually step in and make you whole under our policy limits. There isn't an attorney in the world that does that with their agreements. What they say is, oh, you got sued, because we made this egregious error in our agreements that you paid us to draft for you. Now you can pay us $600 an hour to defend you. What we're saying is if we've made that kind of error that has caused you a financial loss, we actually step in and we make you whole. Of course, our intent is never to have any errors.
Yeah.
But listen, I did want to say, because you said to waive your setup fee, it's your sign up fee. I don't want your folks to get confused. We're waiving the sign up fee for anyone who uses your Boss monthly or
Annual.
Boss annual. Yeah, all spelled out in caps. Yeah.
So that is correct. Not the setup of the actual agreements. It's the sign up fee. That's what it's called.
Right. Yeah, the one-time sign-up fee, correct. Mm-hmm.
So thank you for the waiver explanation, because like you said, I think that is a really great value add that your products have with the purchase of the subscription. So again, Sheila, thank you so much for coming to talk to our community and letting us know about what we need to do. So now when you know better, you do better. And so there's no reason why your travel business should not be protected with the appropriate agreements for that. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to post them inside of this thread or reach out to us and let us know, and we'll do our best, very best to get you the answer. With that, have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you.